You can't park there, girls. Where did this water come from? Hi folks, welcome back to the farm. We've just woken up to a bit of an odd sight. Now I did have a flood warning yesterday, but it only showed it going to 2.1 metres, which doesn't mean it comes out onto the fields. But this is what we're looking at. Now the worrying thing is, the sheep were down there because this is just not forecast. We haven't had, it's obviously been frozen, and then we had rain overnight, but it can't have been that heavy. We lost both sides of the brook and the sheep are stuck and split. Now we could only count 15 with the binoculars. Let's hope that we're just not very good at counting. Now there is a tiny bit of me that's worried that this is linked to the lake. Yesterday I unblocked the overflow pipe from the lake because the lake was about, I don't know, 6 inches too high or something like that. So all I had to do was just get the roots out of it to bring it back down. But if there was some sort of failure point, then, well, I don't think that the whole lake could have emptied. And even if it did, it's not this much. This is crazy. Come on, girls, are you all there? Where did this water come from? Come on. Let's hope it's not too deep. I'll tell you what, there's actually quite a current to that. They need to get a bit of pace behind them. Come on. Just don't go that way because you can't see the edge of the brook. Let's go, let's go. Come on, be brave, be brave. Don't go in the brook. You can imagine here, the bank's in here, 3 metre drop down into the brook. Go on, be brave. Go on. You're okay. That's it. Got some Serengeti crossing. The ducks have moved in already. Right. They know where to go now. Crazy thing is, this could disappear within hours. It tends to recede very quickly. I've got to move those big pylons over to build the bridge. Could almost float them into position. I'm getting really nervous now. So this is the ditch. It runs all the way along, which is where I've unblocked the drain from the lake. Just need to see water. That water or mud? No, it's a reflection. I mean, we're not talking much at all that I would have drained off that. You know, this much over the whole surface, if that at all. Actually, I'm not sure it's changed too much. You can see over on the, you can't on the GoPro, 4 inches on that post on the pylon. That's how much it had raised. And it's gone out gradually, so there's no way it could have done that downstream. It's just a big coincidence. But phew, gone down by about that much, which is what it should. It's back down to normal level, so it's nothing to do with that. Because if you look at the bridge, the arch coming through from upstream, it's completely full. You can see how red this water is. It's all the runoff, all the topsoil, the silt that's come off other farmland and fields. And then basically what happens is when it floods out on ours down here and the other side, it just leaves all of that and then recedes, all the water goes, and then you end up with really fertile soil, which is why this is just the quickest growing grass we've got. And the same the other side. This is a bit like checking the gutters on your house in the middle of a storm. That's the only time you can tell if it's working. So here we can look at where we put the new fencing. You see we put the fence up here and the track up here. That is never going to get to here. If that gets up to here, you know, the whole town is underwater, so that's fine. And then further up, just at the bottom of the goat bank paddock, they're still way up, a good half a metre up from the water level, so it looks like we've been okay there. So the only thing is, when we fence the edge of the brook, which is the tree line, we're going to do it with strands of wire rather than netting. Those posts will obviously be in the ground. There's nothing we can do about that. However, looking at the amount of debris that's come out, I don't think it's going to catch loads of things, and as long as the water can flow through it, we should be okay. Far easier to mend single strands. So here's the closest our fencing here got to water. Probably okay, and this will be gone within the hour, I imagine. Well, it hasn't flooded next door, and it looks like it hasn't washed away our hedging. But like I said, this is such a good time to come and plan out future fencing or planting or anything like that. New saplings along there would need some pretty secure staking. I'm a little bit reassured now. I'll let you decide. Did I cause that flood? Don't think so. Luckily there were flood warnings. Completely independent of the little overflow bit I fixed. I think it's one big coincidence. I'm sure it's contributed a little bit, but only in a couple of hours before last night. It's now down to level, so. How weird, I've only just come out to get something from the workshop, and the water over the course of about 10 minutes just receded completely, just disappeared, as if someone's opened something up downstream, and it's all just slowly, well, not even slowly, quickly disappearing, and all the grasses have re-emerged. The mystery is solved, the grass is back, and it wasn't us after all. It was just that heavy rain, the saturated ground, and it just coincided with a really high tide. That morning, late morning, it was when the tide turned all the way down on the Severn, and then that can back up and have an issue if it coincides with heavy rain. So by the time it was mid-afternoon, nearly all of that water had disappeared from the grass. And unlike a normal flood meadow where you've got to wait a long time for all that water to disappear, it really just kind of makes its way back on that low ground. It obviously has a contour, disappears into the watercourse, and we can lose nearly 2 meters of water height within 24 hours. So this sort of thing could happen overnight and you'd never even know about it. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that little insight. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, because we've got plenty more videos coming out soon. Plenty of trees to plant and all that fencing to finish. Thanks for watching. See you next time.